Alrighty, roller derby friends. We are just about under 2 minutes from, what is this, game number 2 of day 3 for the 2018 Udder Chaos. What we've got is No Coast Mad Maxines going against Minnesota All-Stars.
That's right, and the No Coast Derby Girls Mad Maxines for today are number 00 Ripa, number 12 Chewy, number 13 Witch's Brews, number 152 Anthrax Annie, number 17 Fleetwood Smackdown, number 1776 Scars and Stripes, number 22 Major, number 2992 Mia, number 34 Slam, number 350 Betty Rocker, number 451 Babe, number 48 Frostbite, number 5 Storm, number 707 Honey Smacks, and number 82 Bully.
And skating for the Aqua and Army Minnesota All-Stars, we've got 101 Switch Please, 1128 Poisonberry Pie, 1400 Shock Therapy, 172 Shiva Shankin, 26 is Raichu, 31 Homo Erratic, 32 Manila Ice, 422 Polly Punchkin, number 5 is Minnesota Blocker number 5, 501 Animal, 727 the one and only Hertrude Stein, 82 Brutal Brit, 84 Revolt, 98 Bipolar Bear, and 981 is Duggar. I am Loose Change.
And I am Assassinate. On the wheels of steel, Lady Scratch.
And with that whistle, we are underway. First lead jam goes to Switch Please for Minnesota, with Slam jamming for the Mad Maxines.
Switch Please heading to the penalty box. The Bear and Bottles penalty box. The Bear and Bottle is where the after party will be this evening.
And that's like literally down the street. I drove past it yesterday.
I'm going to walk there.
You can totally do that. With Switch Please going to that penalty box, there's no lead jammer. This will run the full 2 minutes. Switch finds that inside line, picks up 4 more for Minnesota.
Slam answers with 4 points.
Nice heavy pack going there. Both teams putting up that defensive tripod.
And we got our money's worth out of jam number 1, folks. Okay. Thank you. Your lead jammer, Shock Therapy for the Minnesota All-Stars. The other jammer, of course, being 451 Babe. Wait, no.
No, that was Frostbite. There was a start.
Okay, well then I'm not so dumb after all.
That is not the Aquaman army hungry and wanting to eat food. That is them cheering for Raichu, who is the lead jammer for the Minnesota All-Stars.
And jamming for the No Coast Derby Girls Mad Maxine, Honey Smacks. All right, lining up on the jammer line for the No Coast Derby Girls, Slam, number 34. And for the Minnesota All-Stars, Bipolar Bear.
Frostbite reporting to the Bear and Bottle penalty box, but Bipolar Bear for the Minnesota All-Stars is your lead jammer. Bipolar Bears put 5 on the board thus far. Clears those last blockers, and another 4 for Minnesota.
Jamming for Minnesota, switch, please. Jamming for the Mad Maxine's Babe. And Babe is out of the pack and takes lead jammer status.
Switch, please, hit to that inside by Frostbite, recycling to between the pivot and jammer lines. Meanwhile, Babe as lead jammer.
That is a Chaos Crew Apex jump.
We want to give a quick shout out and thank you to the Chocolate Shop Ice Cream. Chocolate Shop Ice Cream is a proud sponsor of Madison Roller Derby. That you can find super premium ice cream made in Wisconsin since 1962. And if you want ice cream, they are here. Go get some.
All right, we've got Shock Therapy for the Minnesota All-Stars. We've got Slam skating for the Mad Maxines. And Shock Therapy is your lead jammer.
Low block assessed to Minnesota blocker number 5. Raichu jamming for Minnesota, going up against Honey Smacks.
Raichu out of the pack. Your lead jammer for Minnesota.
Honey Smacks assessed a penalty. Will be spending 30 seconds in the bear and bottle penalty box. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That is Ripa. There was a star pass to Ripa. So Ripa is the jammer for No Coast.
No Coast not making it easy for Raichu.
But Raichu clears the pack, picks up 5 points, gets the signal from her coach to keep on going. Meanwhile, Ripa has been released from the penalty box.
Honey Smacks headed to the penalty box. All right, for skating for No Coast, we have Babe, number 451, and skating for the Minnesota All-Stars, we have Bipolar Bear, number 98. And it is Bipolar Bear, your lead jammer. Babe heading to the penalty box. So this will be a power jam.
Honey Smacks coming up against Shiva Shankin and Rhea Volt, Manila Ice. They've got one in the back. But Bipolar Bear is working her way past all of those No Coast blockers.
Five points for Bipolar Bear. There's another 4. And Babe has completed her initial pass. All right, jamming for the Minnesota All-Stars, Homo Erratic, number 31. Jamming for the Mad Maxine Slam, number 34. Minnesota showing off a deep jammer pool today. And Homo Erratic takes your lead jammer status.
Homo Erratic, new to the charter for the Minnesota All-Stars, but making the presence known. Want to give a big thank you and appreciation for all of the officials that we have assisting us.
That's right. Skating officials, we have Keister Bunny, Ms. Informed, Sid I, Alicia Tees, JC Chaotic, Lightning Foltz, Death Nelly, A. Grew, Effin Zebra, Crystal Ice, and Bert Hurt.
And for our skating officials, we've got Werner Von Baum, Bibbidi Boppity Boom, Bjorn to Kill, Duke Skellington, Artemis Pile Driver, Manosaurus Sergeant Major, and Dr. Math.
Back to the action, we have Chewy jamming for the Mad Maxines. And Switch Please jamming for the Minnesota All-Stars.
Switch Please may be your lead jammer, but that is Chewy, who is right hot on their heels.
I got a bad feeling about this, Chewy. All right, we've got Slam jamming for the Mad Maxines and Shock Therapy for the Minnesota All-Stars. Shock Therapy heading to the penalty box.
Slam is your lead jammer. This is a power jam for Slam, putting 5 on the board already, giving No Coast the opportunity to put some points on the board. Another 5 for Slam. No Coast making up some time. They've been held scoreless the last few jams. And that's 3 more.
All right, jamming for the Minnesota All-Stars, we have number 26, Raichu. We have skating for the Mad Maxines, Babe, number 451. Raichu passes the star to Shiva Shankin. All right, and we have Bipolar Bear jamming for the Minnesota All-Stars, and we have Honey Smacks jamming for the No Coast Mad Maxines.
Honey Smacks at the front of that pack, picking up a track cut penalty. Will be reporting to the Bear and Bottle penalty box, which means the Bipolar Bear is through first and your lead jammer.
Bipolar Bear takes 5 points.
Duck Skellington oh so graciously throwing 5 points up for her. Honey smacks through on her initial pass as Bipolar Bear goes to the bear and bottle penalty box. Honey Smacks clears those last two blockers of Gertrude Stein and Poisonberry Pie. Nice hit to the outside there by Polly Punchkin, recycling all the way back to the straightaway.
And the jam is called off before Bipolar Bear could rejoin. All right, we have Slam skating for the Mad Maxines against number 31, Homo Erratic. Homo Erratic takes lead jammer status yet again.
Vanilla Ice on the tunes, Manila Ice on the track. Minnesota ends up with lead jammer status. Is it a coincidence? I think not.
I think not.
Homo Erratic clears those last couple of no-coast blockers for 5 points.
And we've got a star pass to Ripa.
Official timeout. Switch, please. Lead jammer picks up 3.
And we're back. Jamming for No Coast. We have Babe. Jamming for Minnesota. We have Shock Therapy takes lead jammer status. Star pass to Frostbite.
4 on the board.
All right, and they're off. Raichu jamming for the Minnesota All-Stars, and Slam jamming for the No Coast Mad Maxines.
Raichu hit to the outside, recycled all the way back.
That allows Slam to take lead jammer status. All right, we've got jamming for the No Coast. We've got Babe jamming for Minnesota. We have Bipolar Bear.
Whistle means Bipolar Bear is your lead jammer.
Minnesota not making it easy on Babe.
That is Manila Ice, Minnesota blocker number 5, and Brutal Brit out there. That is a tripod that you do not want to meet.
Bipolar Bear, 5 points, the hard way. I like to say the hard way when they're all out there.
Slam going up against Homo Erratic. Slam finds that outside and is your lead jammer.
Homo Erratic, hot on her wheels, about a half a length behind. All right, for Minnesota, once again, we have Shock Therapy, and jamming for the No Coast Derby Girls, Chewy. Punch it, Chewy. And that is Shock Therapy taking lead jammer status.
You just made friends with all of No Coast for saying punch it Chewy. I am so proud of you.
I mean,
and with that, we've got just under 3 minutes. Minnesota at 107, No Coast at 47. 60 points at this point in time differentiate these two teams. Want to give a quick thank you to Ian's Pizza. They are delicious. I am currently eating some of their pizza. I would highly recommend eating some of it yourself. You can find them online. They've got a couple different locations around here. Ian'sPizza.com.
see the ad in your programs. All right, back to the action. We've got Switch Please jamming for Minnesota. We've got Slam jamming for No Coast.
Matchup that we've seen a multitude of times already in this first half. Switch Please is your lead jammer. Couple whistles out there. Looks like we've got Ripa heading to that Baron Bottle penalty box.
Switch Please getting a grand slam the hard way. And again.
Ripa is your jammer for No Coast. There was a star pass. So this is a power jam for Switch Please.
'Ripa still working her way through the pack. Allows Switch Please to score some more points.
Less than 30 seconds on this jam. Switch picked up 19 with a 3 more.
All right, we've got Babe facing off against Raichu.
Raichu with 2 to beat at the front of the pack. That is Frostbite and Anthrax Annie. Raichu does beat them indeed and is lead jammer.
Five points for Raichu.
Star pass to Frostbite for No Coast. And that will be our halftime. Minnesota 137, No Coast 47. We will be back in just under 15 minutes.
Assassinate.
Loose change.
Signing off.
And with that whistle, we are back to it. Minnesota sitting at 137 to No Coast 47. We've got Switch Please as your lead jammer for Minnesota. And Slam jamming for No Coast.
All right. On the track, we have number 451, Babe, for the No Coast Roller Derby. And we've got Shock Therapy for Minnesota.
High block called on Babe, reporting to the Bear and Bottle penalty box.
That means your lead jammer is Shock Therapy.
Zzz. That is 5 on the board for Shock Therapy.
That's right, and Babe is out of the penalty box.
2 blockers for No Coast in the penalty box, giving Minnesota a 4-2 pack advantage. Shock Therapy using that to her advantage, but is assessed a track cut penalty.
With no lead jammer, this will go the full 2 minutes.
Mia, Babe, Storm, all making up that pack there.
So in the All right, we've got Raichu jamming for Minnesota and trading her stripe for a star, Frostbite for the No Coast Mad Maxines.
Frostbite with her very own cheering section.
And it's Frostbite, your lead jammer. We have a star pass to Gertrude Stein from Minnesota.
Frostbite puts 4 on the board. This is for you, Frostbite.
All right, we have Bipolar Bear jamming for Minnesota. We've got Slam for the Mad Maxines. And it is Bipolar Bear.
Slam tries to follow Bipolar Bear on that outside line, but gets shut down by Shiva Shankin. Big hit there by Storm. Knocking Shiva down.
That's 5 points for Bipolar Bear. All right, we've got Babe lining up for the No Coast Roller Derby. We've got Homoerotic, though, from Minnesota, takes lead jammer status. Babe heading to the penalty box, making this a power jam for Minnesota.
Whistles being called. One of the No Coast blockers reporting to the Bear and Bottle penalty box. While Homoerotic makes the way through for another point scoring opportunity.
Babe back in action. Ripa cycles Homoerotic to the back of the pack.
Homoerotic being real careful, trying to get back in there, but not doesn't want to pick up that track cut. Because Ripa was being sneaky earlier. But that is 5 points. Total of 15 so far for this jam for Homoerotic.
And we have two jammers with palindromic numbers. Honey Smacks, number 707, against Switch Please for Minnesota, who just took lead jammer status.
707 versus 101.
Already a fast-moving jam. And we've got Slam against Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy is your lead jammer. Shock Therapy, number 1400 from Minnesota. But Slam, number 34 from No Coast, is out of the pack. All right, we've got Homo Erratic, number 31, skating for Minnesota, and once returning to the jammer line, Frostbite. Homo Erratic is your lead jammer for Minnesota.
Homo Erratic getting a little bit of help there by Brutal Brit to break up those blockers from No Coast. The assist works. 5 points for Homo Erratic.
Five points for Homo Erratic. Yeah. All right. Pabst Blue Ribbon is a longtime supporter of Madison Roller Derby, so PBR yourself ASAP at a nearby concession. Craft beers from Ale Asylum and Capital Brewery are also available for purchase. Go get some beer. It's Sunday morning.
And if memory serves, the proceeds from that beer goes to help Madison figure out if they're building or buying their very own space, which is super exciting.
That's super exciting. All right, Switch Please, jamming for Minnesota against Babe for No Coast. Switch Please is your lead jammer. Five points the hard way for Switch Please.
Star pass to Ripa. And just as Switch Please was going to call it off, Switch is assessed a penalty, reporting to that bear in bottle penalty box. And Ripa's able to pick up 5 points for No Coast.
And of course, with Switch Please in the penalty box, this will go the full 2 minutes.
Ripa clears that pack for another 5. And finds that inside line. Another 4 points for Ripa.
4 apiece. We have a 14-13 jam, very high scoring jam.
16-13.
That's just kidding, that's what I meant.
Timeout for No Coast. There's like that.
Slam, skating for No Coast against Shock Therapy for Minnesota. And your lead jammer is Shock Therapy.
Some whistles happening over there on turn 2. And we have Slam in the penalty box for No Coast. So this will be a power jam for Shock Therapy.
Many people are wondering, will I do the bzzzt sound every time I say Shock Therapy? The answer is yes. Bzzzt, 5 points.
Wouldn't that be zzz, 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 zzz?
I stand corrected. Slam through the pack, coming up for her first scoring pass, but not before the jam is called off. We've got Homoerotic skating for Minnesota against
Frostbite.
Jinx.
Dang it, I was going to say, Jinx, you owe me a Coke. Frostbite coming up against Gertrude Stein. And Duggar and Polly Punchkin making up that tripod. Meanwhile, homoerotic is met at the front of the pack by Storm.
Frostbite takes lead jammer status. So cold.
Storm, Bully, and Betty Rocker out there. Raichu on the line for Minnesota, going up against Honey Smacks for No Coast. Raichu is through first and your lead jammer.
Raichu through once again, gets 5 points the hard way. That's a grand slam. Both teams now at full strength. And a star pass to Anthrax Annie. Switch, please, for Minnesota skating. And slam, skating for No Coast.
With just under 11 minutes remaining, Slam is through first, but not your lead jammer.
All right, we've got Babe lining up for No Coast against Shock Therapy. Shock Therapy taking lead jammer status.
I'm in your brain, Nate.
You're
Get
in
used
there.
to it. I'm making myself comfortable in there.
Make yourself at home.
Both jammers up against those tripods of blockers. Hits to the inside, hits to the outside. "45 seconds into this jam, still no lead jammer. And we still haven't gotten past that first turn. Star pass for No Coast.
That is past Anthrax Annie.
Frostbite on the line for No Coast, going up against Bipolar Bear for Minnesota.
And the lead jammer status goes to Bipolar Bear from Minnesota.
She just growls at the other team, and they just run away from her.
Exactly. 5 points. She has earned her Minnesota Wild Rice and Chicken Soup.
Official review being called by Minnesota. Yeah.
'Cause and we've got Slam jamming for No Coast, and we've got Homoerotic for Minnesota. Homoerotic takes lead jammer status. Five points for Homoerotic. Five more points. Homoerotic.
That official review was requested by Minnesota. They were looking for a expulsion call. The penalty was going to stand.
Switch, please. Your lead jammer from Minnesota. Babe from NoCo still working her way through the pack.
Star pass to Betty Rocker. Betty Rocker. Five for switch, please.
All right, we've got Raichu skating for Minnesota. Wearing the star for No Coast is Frostbite.
There was a whistle. I almost thought that was Raichu that was being assessed a penalty, but that was a blocker for No Coast. Raichu is the lead jammer, but that was a penalty assessed to Frostbite, jammer of note for No Coast. That Baron Bottle penalty box is getting a lot of use at this exact moment. Forward Training is one of the sponsors, the only functional fitness facility of its kind that is truly welcome to all ages, all levels, all bodies, all humans. Located in Madison's East Side, Forward offers personal and small group training with an emphasis on form and proper technique. There is a grand opening this July, and they also have a booth here, so you can get information, short demos, and get signed up to move forward. How do you move?
Forward.
Good job.
All right, and we have a power start for Minnesota. This is Bipolar Bears skating solo. Frostbite joins the dance. Bipolar Bear takes lead jammer status.
2.5 minutes remain in this second half. Minnesota 279, NoCo 71.
Shock Therapy takes lead jammer status right off the bat. Honey Smacks for No Coast still working her way through the pack. Quick 5 points for Shock Therapy. Honey Smacks is through the pack.
Penalty box has been emptied, and Shock Therapy calls it. Switch, please, on the line going up against. That is Babe. Switch, please, is through, and lead jammer for Minnesota All-Stars. Babe stuck behind Duggar, Gertrude Stein, and Polly Punchkin.
Switch, please. Racking up the points.
Penalties for Switch, please. Reporting to the Baron Bottle penalty box.
That's
the
right.
period clock has ended, which means
this
will
be
a
last
jam. Gertrude Stein reporting to the penalty box as well.
Lots of shoulder punches from Babe.
No lead jam. No coast putting 4 on the board. And before that final whistle, 8 more for No Coast 19 Minnesota. Unofficial final 309 Minnesota, No Coast 79. Give it up for the Minnesota All-Stars.
Give it up for both teams.
Alrighty, friends. So with that, we've got the 309.79 final score for this Minnesota All-Stars and No Coast bout. But stick around because at 2 o'clock you can see Ann Arbor Derby Dimes playing Philly Roller Derby. Definitely a bout that you're going to want to stick around for just over 30 minutes. I am Loose Change.
And I'm Assassinate.
Thank you and have a great rest of your day here at Utter Chaos.